The guy I am speaking about is Chris Thorndyke from Sonic X. And you know Chris is a giant piece of shit. This guy sucks. See, Chris was an attempt to make the human characters more relevant, but they made Chris such an important guy in the story. He became Sonic's number 2 instead of Tails, literally taking away more from the guy who's supposed to have just as much screen time as the main man himself. But they took it away from him. This shit is trash. Chris is a selfish, stupid child who does nothing but whine constantly, cry like a little bitch, and sucks up to Sonic so hard, that it literally hurt my brain when I was a kid watching this shit. Even then, I thought he was so desperate for Sonic's approval and affection, begging to be alongside this guy at all times. You can even tell Chris was about to be a weirdo when he saved Sonic from the pool of water in the first episode. And look how bro was gazing at him, giving him that light skin stare like he just saw fine shit. It was at this moment when I realized he was about to become some strange kid. If you're not familiar with Chris, let me give you some context real quick. Chris is the main human in Sonic X, whose whole character arc revolves around him being somebody who has attachment issues since he was neglected as a child by his parents. His mom is a big Hollywood actress and his dad is a big time CEO. And big what? This guy was rich, he had all the cash money. He lived in a giant mansion, had a butler, had a maid, his granddad lived with him. He had plenty of people around him. So the whole idea that Chris was some lonely kid with no one to show him love or even to be there for him is one giant goddamn bitch ass lie. The guy's chatting shit. He's just selfish. It's not like his parents don't want to be there for him. They had to compromise, work, slave away so that Chris could have the best possible life. It's not even that his parents didn't want to come see him. It's just that life is hard. They felt bad enough as parents that they couldn't be there for their own son, but they had to, or else how long would their rich life where they could give Chris anything he wants hold up? And he never realized how fortunate he was to have any of this to begin with. My nigga went to a normal elementary school. Shit, he was probably pulling up in a Lamborghini, and he would never see or realize the difference in life he had to those who had less than him. And even if it's normal to him and standard procedure, Chris could never see how much of a blessing he had compared to those who were less fortunate than him. I would go as far as to say he had no crushes in life, and for a 12-year-old, he sucked. This shit was so bad that Cream, the flipping 6-year-old of the group, called him out on his bullshit. And Cream's mom isn't even there. She's in a whole other dimension. Yet Cream is happy and glad since she's got people around her. Yet Chris fails to acknowledge anyone around him and plays victim. Bun this guy, man. Tanaka, Ella, and his flipping granddad Chuck were there for him. Spoke to him a bunch of times, practically raised him and cherished him as if they were his actual parents. Yet Chris would still be acting like he had nobody. He had friends, a flipping girlfriend, and he still thought he was alone and had nobody and was so afraid of this shit happening. Even though he had people, after all the adventures and bullshit him, Sonic, and the man they went through, this guy closed the port on Sonic, preventing him on going home, which could have messed up time just because he was afraid of being alone again when he wasn't even alone. Bro, get over it. I don't think any 12-year-old would act like this. They would be too busy buying the stupidest shit with their parents' money. They would be boiling in happiness because of all the materialistic shit they would buy. But Chris is trash. They also forced this guy into the story, making him take key moments away from certain characters from the games. Like in Sonic Adventure 2, when Amy is the one to help Shadow remember what Maria's promise was. Instead of it being Amy in the show, it was Chris. And he was whining to this guy to get his point across. It just ruined it. I just don't like this guy. And even after he kidnapped Sonic and reflecting on why he thought he was gonna be alone and deal with it, to being okay with Sonic going and to eventually become a scientist, have better friendships, and all in all, he just looked a lot better here. This guy's still obsessed over his animal friends so badly. He built the same portal used to take them home, which could have messed up both their worlds the first time. And this isn't even the worst thing about it. The saddest thing about this, after the whole Metarex arc, R.I.P. Cosmo, man, I hear you, Tails, man, I was crying at this shit. This shit had me weeping. Eggman then builds Chris a machine to send him back, but there's one problem. They wouldn't be able to know how old or how different Chris's life would be when he would go back to Earth. See, when Chris built the portal to Sonic's world, it made him a 12-year-old again. And in his world at the time when he was making the machine, he was 18. So if he were to flip that and send a 12-year-old Chris, who's actually 18 in his world, but it's been a year on Sonic's world, how different could his world look? And the answer to that is that shit's probably post-apocalyptic. This man sacrificed everything to go to Sonic's world that he may or may not have a world to go back to. We don't know how different it could look. We don't even know if Chris will be the same age. He could be some old-ass man or almost dead when he goes back. This guy, when he was a grown-ass man, was still so hungry to get back to Sonic. He may have no life to go back to. At this point, you should have never left, you mug. I don't rate Chris. His whole character arc makes no sense. The writers made him so we can relate to him. But what's there to relate to? He lives in a Barbie dream house. He's a rich kid. He contributes nothing to the story beside whining, begging to be involved, and replacing characters at moments where he didn't have to. And if you ask me, we should have made Helen the main human in Sonic X. That would have made more sense. And one more thing. Bun Chris, man.